Hi, welcome to Talooli Trails. I'm Jeff. I'm the Director of Educational Programs here at Camp Talooli. And
I'm Alanson. I'm the Nature Director here at Camp Talooli.
And this is one of our most favorite activities. And we do it with kids in camp, and we do it with almost all the school groups. We call it lake life, and we use this big net. Let me show you how big it is. Alanson, when we have the school groups come here, I always have one of the younger kids be where you're at, so you got the easy job. The old guy has to be out in the deeper water, and so sometimes they make funny noises. Don't let that bother you. That's just the water's a little bit cool and chilly today. Also today, we've got this yellow pollen all over the surface of the lake. That's pretty unusual. As soon as the wind comes, that'll all go to the bottom. Let's take a look. Set the net in the water. Now, we're not here to catch the fish to make pets out of them, but it would be nice to see what lives in this lake. All right. Now, Alanson, you know what to do, right? Where are you headed?
Going straight to the boat.
All right, and I'm gonna go straight over here, then we'll pull the net around and see if there's anything in the net. Ready, set? Let's go. Whoa! This lake's wet. Now you notice the floats are keeping the top up, and the weights on the bottom of the net are keeping it on the bottom. So hopefully, we'll see if we can catch something. All right, bring the tips together. All right, you ready? No guarantees. All right. Oh, we got two kinds. We're good. Here into our key. Oh, Alanson, what have you caught? That looks like a monster.
It's a dragonfly nymph.
Now, every kid that comes to camp knows what a dragonfly looks like, but the truth is they don't generally understand that dragonflies spend most of their life living underwater, and this is a dragonfly nymph or larva. He is walking around the bottom of the lake for up to a year or more. He is a predator. He's eating mosquitoes. He's eating other critters on the bottom of the lake. And then when he gets big enough, just like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, he comes onto land, he crawls out of his shell, he grows his wings, and he flies away as an adult dragonfly. But they sure look like a monster, don't they? We got something. Oh goodness. Nate, got the bucket? Check this out. Right in the middle of all that muck off the bottom of the lake, we found a freshwater mussel. Now this is only a couple of years old. You can see there's a ring here and there's another ring there. This is maybe 2 or 3 or 4-year-old mussel. This is a living clam. And Lance, why don't you put that in the bucket and we'll see if it wants to open up and show us how. It's easy for kids to have some false impressions about life in the lake. One of the things I point out is that the water's not perfectly clear. It's not a chlorinated swimming pool. It's actually filled with life. In fact, right now it's a little cloudy with some of the pine pollen that's fallen from the trees. And it has a tea color from all the leaves that fall in there in the fall time. So it's a living thing. And then kids often think that, well, life in the lake, well, that must be the fish like this that they can catch with a fishing pole. Well, sure, there will be fish, but you know, for every fish that's a foot long, there better be a whole lot of small fish like this that they can eat, because all the fish in the lake will eat other fish. And if you've got a lot of these tiny fish like this, there better be even tinier things for them to eat. And so they can start to see the food web that's out there. Many kids come to me and they say, well, we know what plankton is because plankton is one of SpongeBob's friends. And I say, well, plankton is also the microscopic plants and animals that actually are making the water a little cloudy and maybe a little bit green color right now. They provide the food to the microscopic critters. The microscopic critters provide the food for the small fish, and the small fish become food for the big fish. So let me show you some of the things that we caught with our net. Alanson, why don't you reach in and very gently lift out the fish. So we could use identification keys and let the kids kind of figure out what we've got here. And they'll quickly see this fish is elongated. It's kind of light on the bottom, darker on the top with a stripe. And this one's more oval shaped. And so they'll figure out this is a member of the sunfish family, and this is a young largemouth bass. Well, here at Camp Talooli, we're really careful to make sure that we don't get any invasive species in our lake. So while some lakes around here have things like zebra mussels that can really damage the environment, these are actually native mussels. They belong here. And they're a freshwater clam. If you look close, you can actually see little rings where it has slow growth in the winter and perhaps faster growth in the summer. So this might be a 3 or 4 year old clam. And they do get quite a bit bigger. Here's an empty shell from a larger one. And what's interesting and hard for the campers to see is that when these clams are alive, they do a really cool trick. They'll open up their shell, they'll stick one little kind of a white fleshy foot out here, and they'll wiggle across the bottom of the lake. At the top pointy end of the shell, they'll stick a hollow tube called a siphon out, and they'll actually suck lake water in, push lake water out, and they will filter feed the lake. So these clams actually are part of the filtration of the water here at lake. And what are they filtering out? The green microscopic planes. Now at camp, we also stress that we really have to respect all the animals that live here, and we're not here to make pets out of them or eat them or harass them too much. But I do think it's nice that with fish, we can get a close-up view, we can handle them a little bit, and then we can release them, and they're gonna be just fine. So let's set them down gently into the lake.
So this is Alanson.
And this is Jeff at Camp Talooli. See you for now from Talooli Trails. Take care.